Welcome to Beyond Ready, guiding youth to grow, thrive, and find their spark in a world of change. The podcast where we explore the stories, insights, and experiences of youth development through the lens of 4-H here in Douglas County, Kansas.
4-H, the nation's largest youth organization, empowers 6 million young people through numerous hands-on learning experiences to build a ready generation.
Sharing stories from local clubs, project groups, and volunteers, we'll explore how 4-H is creating change, building stronger communities, and equipping today's youth to meet tomorrow's challenges.
So join us, whether you're a proud 4-H alum, an active club member or volunteer, or simply looking to learn more about the world of 4-H. Let's get started.
Hi, this is Nickie Harding, Douglas County 4-H agent.
Hi, Nancy Noyes here, 4-H program assistant, and welcome. In this season of change, filled with graduations, scholarship, awards, and college acceptances, we want to highlight how the work we do with 4-H empowers young adults with skills necessary for their progression towards adulthood. We have a guest here with us. Let's introduce you to Lydia Folks, a Lone Star 4-H member and 2025 high school graduate. Good morning, Lydia.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations. Thanks for being here.
Lydia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your 4-H experience?
Yeah, so I just graduated high school. I play softball. I started a club at my school, line dancing club. I'm editor-in-chief of my school's yearbook last year. We're still working on that.
Yeah.
And in 4-H, I do some project work. I am the president of the Lone Star 4-H Club.
What's some of your projects that you've been working on? I imagine for the fair.
Yes, so I have my goats. I do woodworking, arts and crafts, visual arts, baking, things like that.
Wow.
I assume maybe photography as well.
Oh yes, photography.
So you mentioned that you're the president of your 4-H club. So if I was getting ready to maybe look into 4-H and I was going to take my little person to go look at a club, what might I expect if I come to your 4-H club meeting?
So we have our monthly meetings. They're held at night in the Lone Star Church. When you come to our meetings, the 4-Hers sit up front and the parents sit in the back. The way we run our meetings, we have regular business in our meetings, of course we need to cover, but then we have fun jobs like song leaders or recreation leader, so we'll do song and recreation throughout the meeting.
Have you held most of those offices as you've progressed?
Yeah, I have, because they're pretty song leaders, usually the younger kids, and there's just jobs that kind of work up from there. Yeah.
Okay.
So during those club meetings, you mentioned the kids are the ones sitting at the front. Are the kids, they're obviously leading the meeting, correct?
Yes, the kids are the ones leading the meeting. We'll do like officer, like voting, an election. We'll do an election for each of our officer positions yearly, and the kids are the ones who will run the meeting. So there's like president, vice president, secretary, treasurer,
And then you follow parliamentary procedure.
Yes, we'll do the parliamentary
That's
procedure.
Great. That's great to learn.
Yep. Those are definitely skills that a lot of kids aren't necessarily learning. So we're very grateful for those club meeting experiences for that.
I'm surprised how many adults don't know parliamentary procedure.
Yes, it is. Well, and it's a little intimidating, right?
Sure.
Even as a little person, it's intimidating. But once you can at least get those basic concepts of Parley Pro, it's pretty well. It kind of becomes second nature a lot of times when you are out and about and working within other organizations, whether it's in your school or your church setting or other groups. So there's that club experience where you meet once a month with a 4-H club of members that range really from age 7 to 18, right? Especially in your club setting at this point, you've got all age levels there. But then as there's other things that happen outside of those 4-H club meetings, right? So you do a lot of service projects and maybe some project work where kids are learning about specific projects. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those service projects that you guys do?
Yeah, so Our club does some annual service projects, so we'll do them every year. We will make a casserole for, it used to be the homeless shelter. I'm not sure where we donate it now. It's changed since COVID after some rules changed. But we'll do that, and then we will also adopt a family every winter.
Nice.
We'll raise money from our club funds, and then we'll go shopping for and adopting a family.
So I also know that you do service work with other 4-H activities that you've been a part of. So as you grow through your 4-H experience, you start out coming to those club meetings, and then as you get a little bit older, there are opportunities for you also to grow as a 4-Her. And one of those experiences is that Citizenship Washington Focus program, and I know you did some service work as a part of that program as well.
Yeah, definitely. With CWF, a big thing we did, we organized 2 blood drives with the Red Cross. We made some military packages and sent them to active duty military servicemen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those CWF experiences, you also had regular speakers who would come in and teach you about community?
Yeah, so one of the speakers we had, and it's all the 4-Hers gathering these speakers and asking them to come speak and organizing all these service projects. But one of the speakers we had came in, and I remember it was Jamie Shue. He came and talked about voting, which is really important. So that was pretty cool.
Especially, are you being a freshly turned 18-year-old?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nice. That's always
Very
important.
good. So as a part of those 4-H experiences, as you've grown, one of the things we really wanted to talk to you today about was your most recent honor of being accepted as a self-engineering fellow. From what we understand, that process was pretty intense. And so would you like to walk us through what that experience looked like what that interview process looked like, and maybe some of those 4-H experiences and skills that you've learned that assisted you in that process?
Yes, it was a very long process. So we started in November. The application was due December 1st, and this was just a physical application, writing down everything I've done on paper, basically, answering prompts that I don't remember exactly, but a lot of them were like what you've done for your community, what kind of leadership roles you've held, things like that. And so you had to write 3 big paragraphs and submit them. And then after submitting those paragraphs, they selected a handful of applicants to come to KU and do an interview day.
So I bet those 3 paragraphs, your project record books really came in handy there, didn't it?
Oh, yes. They were really important. Being able to keep my records of everything I've ever done with 4-H.
Sure.
Because a lot of the things that I was writing about was 4-H related. Like, what kind of officer roles have I held in my clubs, and like leadership positions and things like that. Those were there, yeah.
Nice.
So then interview day, I had to get a pantsuit to dress business professional. That was important. So on interview day, you were put in a group of about 10 people, and you went and actually prior to interview day, you had to prepare a slideshow presentation about yourself, answering, again, certain prompts they had asked. And making this slideshow, they had you meet with a current self-fellow, where I met with mine twice, and we went over what it kind of means to be a self-fellow and making that presentation.
And I add here that will be in the show notes if you'd like to know more about the SELF program, because I've been learning a lot about it.
Yeah. So on interview day, you're put in a group of about 10 people, and you went to my first interview I went to, you all 10 go to 10 separate rooms, and you're in this little tiny room with 2 adults just talking to them about, I guess, kind of why you're the right fit. You give the presentation, and then they'll also ask you questions about certain like pillars and things that you have to answer on the fly. And then we had to go do a group activity with those 10 people after we're all done with our interviews. We went and did a group activity, and the director was there watching the group activity, seeing how you
Nice.
interacted with different people. And so it was really important to have those teamwork skills.
Sure.
Yeah. And then you went to another interview, gave the same presentation, and they asked more questions. So that was kind of what that looked like.
I think it's important to note here that that was a huge field of applicants. They narrowed quite significantly before the presentations, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Like hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the interview process and the preparing the presentation, you're no stranger to that, being part of the 4-H program, whether you were preparing a presentation for County Club Day or you were being interviewed or providing interviews, maybe, whether you're at the county fair, sitting down, talking with judges about your baked goods or your artwork or your photography. I mean, that's a back and forth interview conversation. But the Club Day experience, because you've been doing that since you were little. Can you give us a little bit of background on your Club Day experience?
Yeah, so those interactions definitely helped me with like project talks and again Club Day. So my first Club Day experience, I think I was a clover bud, and my mom told me that I got up in front of everyone and I just stood there and I went, "Mommy," and ran away and started crying.
You've come a long way.
Yes, I sure have. And my most recent Club Day experience, I did a career exploration where I was researching different careers, and then I narrowed it down to one that I would like to focus on, and that helped me a lot in narrowing down what I want to major in. So I knew I wanted to do like engineering and STEM, and so with Club Days, I was able to really go into, it was really forcing me to go into depth about these different areas of like study, and it really helped me narrow down what I wanted to do early on too, which was very helpful.
And what is your major going to be when you start in the fall?
Architectural engineering.
Wow. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, what does that what does that look like?
So from my understanding right now, with no studying yet really, just like the field level research, it's like they work with architects, so architects will like draw the plans, and then architectural engineers will go in and kind of like make it practical and make it happen. And there's different areas you can study on, like lighting, like what kind of lighting is best where, or like heating and air conditioning, like airflow, things like that.
Nice. For comfort. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any other things you would like, or anything else you would like to add about any 4-H experiences that really helped you prepare for this really great opportunity that you've landed?
Yeah, I really think the biggest thing was how I joined 4-H early, and even just getting up in front of my club twice a year and giving a little project talk really helped me be able to get in front of people and talk. And it sounds a little small and like minute, but it really helped me, I would say. That's probably one of the biggest things that helped me be able to public speak.
Mm-hmm. Just getting in front of groups of people.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Didn't
Yeah.
you say that she drug you all pretty young? That's awesome.
Well, based off of Lydia's shared experiences, we can summarize and back up with some research done in 2024 by National 4-H and Heart Research that Beyond Ready Youth Surveys state of the key findings is that out-of-school programs like 4-H are critical for skill development and setting important expectations for the workplace. Teens feel much more prepared to apply life skills in the collegiate setting or work than technical skills. Those who have participated in 4-H programs and internship recognize the importance of and feel prepared to apply for both life and technical skills. So out of school programs better help teens work well in teams, build confidence, bounce back from disappointment, and handle stress compared to school alone. So actually, Lydia, also that this piece where they talk about bounce back from disappointment, we know as a 4-H'er, especially when it comes to county fair, we work really hard all year long on these 4-H projects, and then we get to the county fair and we may not get the ribbon that we anticipated. Do you have any experiences like that helped you grow as an individual?
Yeah, I sure do. I remember one of my first years trying photography, I got a red and a white, and that was really disappointing for me because I was just really hoping for better. And then the judges had given me feedback, and I had taken it, and now I am typically doing better, not only on my photography project, but I'm also now getting into photography, as to where it led me to be the editor-in-chief of my school's yearbook. So that was a really fun path that took me down. And it was kind of because I just didn't give up and quit after I got the white.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I imagine that mentorship you were given from the judges helps you then be a mentor at your age.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, all this will be in the show notes, particularly the survey from National 4-H.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for coming in today to visit with us. We're super glad that you were here with us. Is there any final thoughts before we head out?
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's fabulous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck. We'll be excited to hear how things go in the fall. All right, well, we will be back next month with a timely look at the Douglas County Fair and how it elevates the 4-H experience and provides some meaningful volunteer interactions. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to K-State Research and Extension Douglas County's podcast. We hope you tune in again for not only more research-based information and resources you can trust, but also good conversation. Until next time.